Do you want to hear something crazy? The Bible isn't anti-sex. Sex seems to be one of those messy conversations that people don't know how to have, and it isn't a new one. In the early church, there were lots of messy conversations about sex, things that divided families and friends. They had a lot of questions like, should I never have sex ever? Should I get married even if I'm tempted with sex? If I am married, what sexual obligations do I have to my spouse? Maybe you've asked those questions as well. A man named Paul, who was a leader of the early church and was specifically chosen by Jesus to do so, wrote a letter to this early church in Corinth answering their questions. Now, regarding the questions you asked in your letter, yes, it is good to abstain from sexual relations. But because there is so much sexual immorality, each man should have his own wife, and each woman should have her own husband. The husband should fulfill his wife's sexual needs, and the wife should fulfill her husband's needs. The wife gives authority over her body to her husband, and the husband gives authority over his body to his wife. Do not deprive each other of sexual relations unless you both agree to refrain from sexual intimacy for a limited time so you can give yourselves more completely to prayer. Afterward, you should come together again so that Satan won't be able to tempt you because of your lack of self-control. Picture a fireplace or a bonfire. In it, of course, is a fire. The fire brings warmth and light to the room and to those around it. Maybe it provides entertainment and joy as you roast marshmallows or listen to it crackle. But what happens when the fire is no longer confined to the boundaries in which it was created? It becomes dangerous, devastating. It brings pain, emotional and physical. Maybe as small as a char on the carpet or a burnt finger, but left unchecked, it can burn down an entire house or start a wildfire. Sex is like that. Sex is good, great and wonderful even, in its design. God created us as sexual creatures within His intended design. Marriage between a man and a woman is God's intended design for sex, a space where sexual expression can be pursued and fulfilled. And Paul takes it a step further, pointing out that it is the responsibility of both the husband and the wife to fulfill the sexual needs of their spouse. Back to the fire metaphor. If sex is the fire, marriage is the fireplace. Without the fireplace remains empty and lifeless. Without sex, marriage just becomes the same thing. Without the fireplace, the fire becomes destructive and devastating. And without marriage, sex becomes just as destructive and devastating.